Okay? So you can figure out what a hippie was. Tucumcari, New Mexico. There's a hippie standing on the corner. Long hair, bandana, tie-dye t-shirt, jeans, flip-flops. I hate flip-flops. Nobody wants to look at your ugly feet. Put some stinking shoes on. If I ever see any of my pastors in flip-flops, you're dead. You're dead meat. You fly on a plane, and people popping their feet up on and with their flip-flop, like, get that stinking, smelly toe jam. Get that thing out of here. Tie-dyed t-shirt, and let me tell you, all old hippies have retired to Salem, Oregon. I've never seen so many 80-year-old guys walking around, barely can walk, bald head on top, hair down to their waist on the back, ponytail with their old Grateful Dead t-shirts. All old hippies go to Salem, Oregon. And the hippies just stand there. And this guy's walking by, and he looked at him, and that guy's crazy. Went and did his business, came out of the store, and he's still standing there. He goes, son, what are you doing? The hippie just said, oh man, don't you know I'm keeping the elephants away. And the guy looked at him and said, son, there ain't an elephant within 1,000 miles. He goes, far out, man, it's working. I got to tell you another story. I used to have long hair. I'm of that generation. When you run, the wind, like that golden mane. 1967, same year. 1967 is one of the most famous dates in American history, that year. That was the birth of the free speech movement on the University of California, Berkeley campus. It was in the height of the Vietnam War. Thousands of young people taken to campuses all across the nation protesting the war. And in the summer, it was called the Summer of Love. If you're going to San Francisco, be sure to wear a flower in your hair. You need to Google that song, okay? That was the hippie anthem. And so we were in Big Prairie, Ohio. That was a little town. It was where they were having the Ohio District of the Assemblies of God was having their summer family camp. And during that day, Dad was the premier speaker at all of the Assembly of God summer camps. That's every summer, 3 or 4 camps is what we would be doing. So we got there early, and it was. I had long hair. I wore, that was back in the bell bottoms. Some fashion does not need to come back. And bell bottoms is one of them. Bell bottoms, big belts, big square buckles, boots, pants, no back pocket. Instead of regular pockets, they had the front pockets. They were straight across this way. Striped pants, red, white, and blue. It was terrible. But when you're 13, you think it's cool, man. And so we're on the campground. We just gotten there. I got long hair, and this crazy legalistic preacher saw me, come running over to me, tell me, "You need a haircut, boy." And he was yelling at me and telling me, "Oh, I'm going to hell, and I'm going to this and that and that." And we're Southerners. And in the South, you don't talk back to adults. It's yes, sir, yes, ma'am, no, sir, no, ma'am. If I didn't address an adult as a man, I got the Board of Education applied. And And I'm just standing there with my eye, and he's up there, and he's just grilling me, and you're going to hell, you're rebellious, he's just doing all of this stuff. And I looked over his shoulder, and I saw Francis coming. I saw Mother coming, and I could see smoke. And for meanness, I looked at that preacher and said, can you repeat all of that? Serious? And I mean, he got blood red, and he pointed that finger. He got that finger. He was up there. He was touching my nose, and all of a sudden, a hand from God. A hand from God came down and grabbed him by the hand and said, don't you ever point your finger in my son's face. And he's going, up. She said, now get out of here. And